Namaste, students. Welcome. Every single day we experience a whole world of different tastes, don't we? Think about the sour taste of nimbu pani on a hot day, or the bitter taste of karela that maybe you don't like so much. Have you ever stopped and wondered what makes these things taste the way they do? Well, today we are going to be detectives. We're going to uncover the secrets behind these everyday tastes and feelings. So are you ready? Let's begin. Okay, let's start with something we all know. I want you to imagine you are biting into a bright yellow lemon. What's that first taste that hits your tongue? It's that sharp, tangy, sour taste, isn't it? It makes you close your eyes a little bit. Now, what is causing that taste? It's the same taste you find in dahi or in a tangy imli chutney. What's the secret here? Now, let's think about something completely different. Imagine you're washing your hands, and some soapy water gets in your mouth by mistake. Yuck. That taste is not sour at all, is it? It's bitter. A very different taste. And what about how soap feels? When you rub it with water, it becomes so smooth and slippery in your hands. So why is soap so different from a lemon? What's going on here? And here's one last puzzle for us to think about. Sometimes after a big celebration meal, you might hear an older person in your family say they have acidity, that burning feeling in their stomach. And what do? They might take a little bit of baking soda, mix it in water, and drink it. And soon, they feel better. How can that white powder from the kitchen fix a tummy ache? It seems like magic, doesn't it? So you see, the sour lemon, the slippery bitter soap, and the tummy-soothing baking soda, these aren't just separate things. They are all clues. And these clues are pointing us to two very special groups or families of chemicals that are hidden all around us in our everyday lives. It's time to follow these clues and solve the mystery. All right, our investigation officially begins now. We are going to meet these two chemical families, learn their real scientific names, and discover their special powers. Okay, so let's look at our two families. On one side, we have what we'll call the sour family. Things like curd and lemon juice belong here. And their main superpower? Well, they taste sour. Simple enough. And on the other side, we have the bitter family. This is where things like baking soda and soap fit in. Their superpowers are tasting bitter and feeling all soapy and slippery to the touch. Now, are you ready to learn their real names, just like scientists use? Okay, so this sour family, in science, we call them acids. That's right, acids. So that sour taste in lemon juice comes from an acid inside it. And what about our bitter and soapy family? Well, their scientific name is bases. So when you talk about soap or baking soda, you're talking about a base. That's what gives them their bitter taste and that slippery, soapy feeling. So we have acids and we have bases. Now, everyone, please listen very, very carefully. This is the most important rule for today. We have been talking about sour and bitter tastes, but that's only for things we know are safe, like food. In a science lab, or if you ever find a chemical you don't know, you must never, and I mean never ever taste it, not even a tiny bit. It can be extremely dangerous. This is the #1 safety rule for all scientists. Promise me you will remember this. This leads to a very clever question, doesn't it? If tasting is a big no-no, then how do scientists figure it out? How can they look at a clear liquid and know if it's an acid or a base? They must have a safe trick up their sleeves, right? And they do. They use something called indicators. Think of indicators as special chemical detectives. What do? They change color. They show us if something is an acid or a base just by changing their color. It's like magic. A common one in labs is called litmus. But you know what? We have an amazing indicator right in our own kitchen. Haldi, turmeric. Have you ever spilled some curry on a white shirt? That yellow stain? Well, what happens when it's washed with soap? The yellow stain turns reddish-brown. Why? Because soap is a base, and haldi is an indicator that changes color to tell us, hey, a base is here. How cool is that? So we have met the acid family and the base family. They seem like total opposites, right? Sour versus bitter. So what happens when these opposites meet? What happens if you mix an acid and a base together? Do they fight, or do they become friends? Let's find out. When an acid and a base come together, something truly amazing happens. They have the power to nullify each other's effects. Now, nullify is a big word, but all it means is to cancel out. It's like the acid's sour power is gone and the base's bitter power is also gone. They make each other's special properties just disappear. Let's picture it like this. Think of it as a friendly handshake. So first, you have an acid with its sour power.
Then a base comes along with its bitter and soapy power. When they meet, instead of fighting, they shake hands. And in that handshake, they cancel out each other's powers completely. And what's left behind? Something new. Something that is not an acid and not a base. It's something neutral, like a salt and just plain old water. And this special reaction, this friendly handshake that cancels everything out, has a very important scientific name. It is called a neutralization reaction. Let's say it together. Neutralization reaction. This is a super important idea in the world of chemistry. Now, you might be thinking that this neutralization stuff only happens in a laboratory with beakers and test tubes. But that's not true at all. This reaction is happening all around us every single day. Let's see how. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Remember our mystery about the upset stomach? Well, here is a secret. Your stomach makes a very strong acid to help digest your food. Usually, this is a very good thing. But sometimes, our stomach makes a little too much acid, and that extra acid causes that burning feeling we call acidity. So how do we fix it? We take something called an antacid, right? Like that baking soda. Well, guess what? An antacid is a gentle base. So when that base reaches your stomach, it meets all that extra acid, and what happens? A neutralization reaction. The base cancels out the extra acid, and you start to feel better. It's not magic, it's science. And there are so many more examples. Every time you brush your teeth, you are doing a neutralization reaction. The food we eat can create acids in our mouths that cause cavities. But toothpaste is a base, so it neutralizes that acid and keeps our teeth safe. Even farmers use this science. If their soil becomes too acidic, their crops won't grow. So they add bases to the soil to neutralize it and make it healthy for the plants. It's everywhere. So there you have it. We started with some simple, everyday mysteries, and we solved them using the amazing power of chemistry. You have all been fantastic detectives today. But believe me, our adventure into this world is just getting started. So let's quickly go over what we learned. It's pretty simple when you think about it. We found out that acids are sour. We found out that bases are bitter and soapy. And the most magical part, when they meet, they neutralize each other. But this might make you wonder, is the acid in a lemon as strong as the acid in our stomach? Probably not, right? So how do we measure how strong an acid or a base is? Well, that is a fantastic question, and it's exactly what we will explore in our next lesson, using a special scientific ruler called the pH scale. And now I have a little mission for you. When you go home, ask a grown-up to help you look for some acids and bases around the house. You might find vinegar, which is an acid, or a soap, which is a base. Be a curious explorer. But please, please be safe. Always ask an adult first. And what is our #1 golden rule? That's right, we never taste anything to find out what it is. Keep exploring and keep asking questions. Goodbye for now.